Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna start with just tell me what has been on your mind lately. What has been your any hyperfixations? Do we have any ADHDers here? Which is fine because I am convinced that I am ADHD, and you know we hyperfixate on a lot of stuff. So yeah, what are some of your hyperfixations? What's been on your mind?
It's on my mind. College.
College? Oh, speak to the mic. Yeah.
College. I feel like college was a really big one because I recently attended this college fair and like everyone there had something special about them, and then like me,
Oh no.
and then there was me, and then I was like, hey, what am I supposed to do? And I was like, it was my Inside Out moment.
Oh no.
I've never watched Inside Out. No one spoiled it
What?
for me, please.
The new one was so good.
I know, I heard.
Okay,
No, I've never watched it.
okay.
I only know they have a new character, multiple new characters.
You know what I got? I got Envy.
You got what?
I got Envy.
Oh.
The new character. I was like, Envy? Who could that be?
It's
and then I realized, oh, that's me. Every time I walk past someone, I was like, wow, her shoes are amazing.
It's true. No, you're not the only one. Yeah, it is. It's a real struggle. It's a real struggle.
Guys, you should totally watch it though, because they introduced this whole thing about anxiety and growing up.
It's
and
true.
I'm just like, no, it's like no, it's in the trailer. It's in the trailer. It's in the trailer.
I never watched
But
the
I'm just
trailer.
saying, like, you need to watch it because it's so important and it's genuinely biologically, psychologically correct. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Psychology correct.
Psychology
Like,
correct.
it's an actual theory that I was talking to my therapist about. It's really, really cool. Anyways,
Yeah. No.
Don't let TikTok spoil it, and don't let Way spoil it.
Yeah. No, I really like how they included like all these. It's like more mature emotions. Yeah, I know it is CBT. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. What about the rest of you? What's been on your mind, Evan? What's been on your mind?
Exams.
it's actually so real. Yeah, I feel that. How's it going?
I think it's like, I think it's harder because like I recently got into secondary. So then, like in like primary, you could like study the whole year. You could like not do anything, and you would still pass the exam. And it's like now it's like you have to study, like you have to do extra studying, like other than like homework. So it's like a big transition. So yeah.
That's for real. Very for real.
Natalia wants to say something. Yeah.
Definitely one thing that I'm struggling with is on my mind a lot lately is time management. Cause like I'm a normal.
It's unanimous.
Yeah,
I think that's the
I'm a normal 14-year-old secondary school student. But then like I'm also involved in HBB stuff, and then I'm also involved in this other organization that I'm a part of. So it's like so many things happening at once, and I'm only 14, and I'm trying to figure out which one comes first, like which one should I do after this, and the next, and the next, and the next. So yeah, I'm.
Clarify, you're not exactly normal. You've written a book. I don't think many 14-year-olds have written a book.
What do you mean?
She's an author.
She's an author.
Did you know that?
She's an actual
Yeah, you do-
author,
yeah.
published author.
Okay, yeah, basically,
I mean, I'm a regular 14 secondary high school.
I'm regular in my mind. Like I think like a normal teenager.
Yeah, you know.
No, yeah. What book was that?
It's basically called The Cat on the Bridge. It's an ebook, and it's about this cat taking inspiration from a real life pet of mine, Toby, who is a cat, and he is basically transported to this place called the Rainbow Bridge, which is basically a place where animals go when they pass on.
Okay.
And while he's there, he needs to take part in a series of challenges. Determining if that place survives or not, while also dealing with his emotional struggle about whether his owners really love him or not. So yeah, I know it's a very deep topic for a pet, like an animal story.
A cartoon.
But because like some of those
Regular
thoughts
14-year-old.
I've had in my mind before, like genuine thoughts and feelings. That's why I put into the book. So yeah.
You can't see me, but I'm awing too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say there's a lot of been on my mind lately.
So what do you think? Which part of the book do you see yourself most in? Like maybe you can share that with us. What reflects you the most?
So, I mean, I see myself as the main character, Toby, because a lot of my feelings I poured into that character. So, like, the thoughts that he had of, like, okay, so the main theme basically is, do I have to be perfect to be loved? And that is a very deep thought that I've been having for the past few years, because I'm a perfectionist, and I've always had this big fear of people's expectations and what they think of me. So I always thought that, okay, in order for them to accept me, I have to meet that expectation, and I have to be perfect all the time. But like, yeah, thanks to my group story writing, I think I got past that fear because the process was deep.
Jesus loves you for the way you are.
Thank you.
You're perfectly and wonderfully made in His image and love.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay, guys. Life is just a treacherous journey that we're trying to navigate together. That was a mic drop moment there, man. Yeah, no, okay, but I want to hear from you also. Like, what are some, I mean, because it sounds like there's a lot of, emotions that we, even myself actually, like, so it doesn't just stop at 20, guys. Puberty is a lie. But yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of emotions that we learn to navigate through. A lot of, pressure, a lot of perfectionism is a very big thing as well. And I really feel that. What do you think is like, maybe you can speak for yourself, you can also speak for your generation today. What do you think is maybe some of the top 3 or top pressures that you feel and maybe your friends feel as well? Maybe Justin?
What are the top pressures? Exams. Exams. Everyone is going through exams. And I feel like deciding school is another very big pressure, especially for uni. It's like a lot of people, uni is like the end of study, so like that kind of leads your whole life. So you have to choose the right uni, but there's so many options. I'm having to choose right now. I haven't even applied to any. So I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing, but I'm finishing college in July. I have to decide soon. It's a lot of pressure to deal with exams and deciding the uni at the same time.
So is it pressure because it's okay, you can hold on to it. Is it pressure because it's like it's such a big decision that you have to make, or like you need to keep up with your friends? Like I know in the panel session you kind of talked about pressure that came from your parents as well. Yeah, but what makes it feel like it's so much pressure for you? Like there's so much at stake with this decision.
Because I do plan to do a PhD, so my uni, it speaks a lot. Like I would say, because I would like to get a full scholarship if it's possible for a PhD, right? Which is very rare, but I would have to get a first class honors degree. So the uni matters a lot also, because like if there's higher competition, it's a lot harder to get like a first class honors degree, right? But at the same time, the name is better if you go to a more higher competition uni. So like you go to more unknown, like Sunway. Even if I get first class, don't know if like a good uni with PhDs would accept me, you know? So it's just a lot of thought to go in.
Sunway is great.
Sunway is like 500 plus, top 500 only in the world. So like, don't know if Cambridge would give me a full scholarship, even if I have a first class honors from Sunway.
I must say. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going next. Top 3 pressures. I think it's hard for me personally to like have a specific thing. Every day feels very different. I think overall, if I would have to say the main pressure that I feel is just not being enough. It's very light, but I think it can be very difficult sometimes to be around like such incredible people. You can kind of feel inadequate. So I would say I struggle with that. I think, that's my biggest pressure.
I think mine is
struggle.
I think mine is living in the moment and not trying to rush. We live in a really fast-paced society, and like a lot of things happening at once. There's a lot happening in the last 3 days, in the last 5 days. It's been like back-to-back days, but it's also just trying to always give my 100 to everyone, to invest in, you know, the people that matter to me, to know the ones that love me, that they're loved too, but also not trying to ignore other people, and then still while trying to care for myself, but also making sure I act according to God's will, but also trying to do things right, but also doing it with a good quality, and it's like, it pressures a lot, and then when you're so focused on it, you're like, oh my God, I forgot to live through this moment, you know, and life just passes by you. And like I'm leaving for uni soon, and I haven't said my proper goodbyes yet. I haven't gone to a place where I'm like, I'm ready to say goodbye. I'm not, and it's like I'm trying to live in the moment, but I'm trying to go to the future, but I'm like, I live in the past, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, a lot all at once. Yeah.
I relate to that. I think like it kind of, I mean, hearing all of, you know, the different things that you have shared, I think it really, for me, what it brings to mind, it really echoes like what the panel session just now was, right? Is that, yeah, different generations have different issues, but as much as, you know, financial issues were very real for our parents' generation, but like all these are very, very real issues to us, and it really is like very, very, very much of a struggle for us, right? And it's actual things that we need to, you know, we take it upon ourselves to learn how to navigate, right? And yeah, I really feel that lah. I really like relate to that. Yeah.
I think that one that not a lot of people want to say, like it's obviously in their mind, but no one actually wants to say it, you know, like relationships. Currently in HBB Youth, we're talking about sex and relationships. And I just think that there's a lot of unsaid things and unspoken words that shouldn't be unspoken, you know. Like if a child, or basically 90% of the friends that I know that have not joined a church or a sexual education club or anything like that, they don't know what it is to have a relationship, why it's wrong, why it's right, when or why should it happen. And I just think that so many people are so confused about this that it's just tearing us apart. You know, like on Instagram and on TikTok, you see people like, oh, I'm going out with my boyfriend, I'm going here, I'm going there. And then they post about their breakup like days after. And like it gets so soppy and so sad. And you just lose the actual view of it all.
Yeah, and just to add on to what Sonia was saying, because that's really good, I think it's not just relationships, although that's a big part. I think friendships as well. Yeah, you definitely see online, there's like this incredibly painted out picture of like, oh, me and my friends out, you know? Or like, this is what a good friendship looks like. This is like Friday night with my friends, you know? And
it's like this perfect idea that you want to achieve.
Precisely, yeah. And
if you don't have girls' bingo night, you're not friends.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And like every friendship you'll have in your life is so different. And so, did I miss out on a joke?
I said girls bingo night, and then Evan said yeah.
Brilliant. Like about them.
It's not an ordinary 13-year-old.
Guys, bingo night too.
Brilliant.
I just less often.
So what did you do last month?
2 months.
I had a guys bingo night.
Yeah. So I think friendships, and it's very easy, I think, to be misunderstood in our generation and in our culture today. Our society is a better word. In our society today, I think we misunderstand each other a lot, and especially with social media, you can put something up and it can come across as a certain way, and in reality, it's nothing what it looks like. It really isn't.
It's like going out with your dad, and then they paint it out to be that you're just going out with some creepy old guy. Like, I've seen that happen before, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like relationships and friendships have lost their magic, because like relationships, it's a very beautiful thing, but then like it seems like nowadays it's not, the magic of it isn't really there, or like people don't really acknowledge that it's supposed to be something that is steady and firm. And
isn't that deep connection?
Yes. Firm foundation, yes. Same with friendships as well. Yeah.
I think, like, especially with like technology and social media, I think all of us have like a perception of what like good friendships look like, or what good relationship looks like, and we don't actually take the time to think of ourselves like, what do we think? And like, we don't think for ourselves. We always expect, okay, this is the standard, and we have to follow this. If not, it's not a good relationship, or it's not a good friendship. So I think that in the sense that we also kind of lose a piece of ourselves, because we don't think of us straight, and we're just thinking about, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be, and we have to follow in this.
Follow the world, basically. Yeah.
I think, it's really like I personally went through that, and like it took me a really long time to realize that relationships aren't the end. Like, it's not your defining point. It's not if you've never been in a relationship, then you're worthless or anything. It took me a really long time to navigate through that. Like, if I don't have a partner, God has better plans for me. And it's like, in this culture, it's really hard to accept it because, everyone's in that relationship. It's so easy to, and there's a whole like monogamy versus polygamy and everything. And you're like, oh, it's like
cancel culture.
There's just so much happening. But it took a really long time to know that there's so much more to life than relationships. There's so much more to life. There's friendships. There's life-giving friendships. There's Christian sweet friendships. It's one of my favorite verses. Like, there's one of my favorite verses, like, sweet friendships like refresh the soul, and like you really can feel it. Like, when I first felt that, I was like, wow, God's real. What? He there. Yeah, he was there. And like, it's just.
And I think in times like that, when I think it's the same thing with relationships also, like when you have a taste of like what is good. I think in relationships sometimes it could be even in singlehood, right? Like when you taste and see that, like, actually, God is sufficient, God is enough, and suddenly, everything else kind of the other end of the grass, the other grass that was greener, suddenly it kind of like diminishes in importance, or it diminishes in desirability. That's super good. And like, I wanted to write off Evan's point as well, to say that like, it's really true. I had to nowadays I have to consciously choose to not click like those TikToks or reels that talk about like, couples having like they film themselves, and then they who is the better, I don't know, chef at home, or like, all those like very cheesy ones. Couple goals. It's true, because I have to consciously like not click into it, because I know that like I will like envy like I will envy, and I will kind of like, oh man, suddenly like my relationship's not good enough. I'm like, and I think it's really like what Evan said is really true, and it's really wise actually, that like there's an expectation for some reason. I guess like social media kind of paints this with, it's a learned behavior, right? That like, my relationship or my friendship or even my family or my personal life my season needs to look a certain way in order for it to be good, in order for it to be yes. Like, it needs to look a certain way, right, in order for my life to be complete and good. And I think where social media kind of comes in is that it portrays that for you, and so we consume that, and we're like, and like rightfully put, right, like we don't actually know what we want, but it's right there, and like it's like, that's what I want, so we consume it, and then actually it does more harm, or it leaves a bigger hole in our heart than heals it.
I think that this is like just a sub question, sort of like a follow-up question. Do you guys think that romance books or romance themes set unrealistic expectations for how your life or your high school life should be? Like, should you necessarily have a girlfriend or boyfriend by the time you're leaving high school? Are you pretty enough to be prom queen? Do you even have a prom? Most Malaysians don't. Do you have that expectation in mind? Inside joke. It's an inside joke, because we have a K-drama advocate over here.
I'm gonna try and touch on both points while I address this. Isn't that kind of interesting how the Bible addresses these in a manner of idolization, and how we want to fulfill our desires and our wants with these idols that we perceive to be something that fulfills us, something that we are of value. Relationships, are we worthy enough? Or, the couple goals, like we want to be part of that. That's what we want in life. And like we get carried away by these idols, and that's exactly what the Bible tells us to be aware of. And I find it really cool, like, sorry, my brain's just kind of, but I find it really cool that the Bible already could foresee this. And you know, this is written how many years ago, how many decades, how many centuries ago, and they knew that human nature would naturally try to fulfill its desires by just looking at whatever seemed to be of value and be like, that's what I want. But truly, we actually don't know what we want. And that's where God comes in and speaks to us and say, child, I know what you want, and I will give it to you if you follow me.
Super good. Yeah, that I was gonna lead up to that question actually. So with all of this, right, how do we navigate that? How do you navigate that as a Christian? How do you navigate that as a, you know, salt and light?
Very good. I think for me, it was something that initially I struggled with a bit, especially like all the girls in my class, everybody had like boyfriends and everything, and I had a Bible in my school bag. Thanks for that. And I think, when, like what Chinmay was saying, when everybody sort of has it going on, you can kind of feel like, oh, should I be having that as well? And so I feel very blessed that I had a community that was sort of always praying for me. Shout out HTBB Youth! Shout out HTBB Youth! And so I think my Christian community of friends was really great, and really taught me, I guess, that I didn't really need that. And so I was able to turn to them when I didn't really have anybody else to turn to, if that makes sense, with this specific thing. But also I think the grace of God, when you turn to God about it, I think it's a very precious type of grace. And it's very internal. And so I think just talking to Jesus moves mountains, and it's just the best thing you can do about anything in your life. And so for me, that's what I will do if I ever feel inadequate. That seems to be my favorite word today. If I ever feel inadequate, or if I find myself comparing, just turning to the Lord, because He'll never fail you, and never, like He's just the best.
Bestie. I love your answer so much. I love you, Natalia. I'll just like to add on to that I feel that in terms of how to navigate these sort of treacherous waters, that I think as a Christian, it's very, very important to know what is true and who we are, our identity. Like, because like in my school, there's always this cases of gossiping going around, like a lot, and it's a very real thing. And my friends are sometimes they're so amazed and curious of how I'm not affected by it. Like they are like super panicked about it, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Like
I'm a bad person.
no, like exactly. Like
You're so ugly inside.
no, like,
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know. Anyways, have you heard of this guy named Jesus?
no, it's more. I find it very funny in a way, but it's because like I know who I am, like my identity in Christ is exactly, and that's why I think it's very, very important, definitely, to know the truth, like, and hold on to it. Very important, because the truth in the end, it defeats everything else. Yes.
Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life.
Yes.
You know, I think especially in our, actually, I think in general, what all of us, I'm like speaking in general, I think what humans and Christians don't do enough is that we read the Bible. And you know, we don't, and it's like not just, and it's not just like we read it, but we truly like understand it, and like we take word for word, and we take in what it really means. And so, because the Bible is the truth, right? So we should be reading it every day and every minute, every hour.
We need the strength of Samson for that.
My wine all out. Throw it.
Mic drop. We need the strength of Samson.
This is like, it's the type of thing that, you know, we never do enough of. And you know, it's like the Bible, even if you read it one whole thing, it's not like a storybook that you can just read once and be like, I know what happens. And it's like I learned the story from it already. It's like the Bible is the type of thing that you can read over and over again and you can still learn from it.
You never truly understand the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Head knowledge versus heart knowledge.
Super duper good.
My Roman Empire.
Okay, yeah, super duper good, guys. I am genuinely like this, not just for the podcast, but I am genuinely so encouraged, and yeah, really like I'm just so encouraged to, and as a youth leader, like this is very, very, very like near and dear to my heart. It's very encouraging to me to see really like all of you as young as 13 to 19, like really how certain and how convicted and how steady your hearts are in following Jesus. And yeah, not easy. No, but don't worry, we're in this together. It's never easy, but we're in this together.
Guys, just
It was so out of pocket. Guys,
So-
just a tiny little question. Just for each one of y'all, I want to ask this. If you could describe how your life is going right now in one word, what word would it be? Okay, I'm gonna describe it. My one.
Okay.
New. New.
Is it no elaboration?
One word.
Okay.
Just only one word.
describe your life in one word.
The current right now.
I'd say lovely.
Right in this
Lovely.
moment.
Lovely.
Wow.
Okay. I'm going to say two words. It's very short. I'm going to say chaotically fun. Because yeah, it's fun in a chaos way.
I really don't think you're an ordinary 14-year-old.
You're not
You wrote a book. You wrote a book.
That's true.
We don't need to talk about that.
Can everybody raise their hands if they've ever written a book yet? Yeah, everybody in this room.
I
No.
wrote a fanfic.
You wrote a Wattpad, sorry.
It was about Thor. You know, the mighty hammer.
Oh, okay.
Talia's dying.
So we'll cut this out.
Please do. I don't want anyone seeing the light of day of this.
No, wait, but on a second thought, like, I mean, yes, all of us are very uniquely, and you're very special, and also you, and also you, and also you, and
Yes.
you. But I think it's also. No, but I think. But I think the point I want to make is that a lot of people feel the pressure to always be unique, and I think a lot of us face that trouble before, that everyone, like as you said, everyone is so like. So up there, so equipped, so good at something, so yeah, like they're so like, you know, people are like, oh my god, you're so talented, or you're so that, and then you just feel there and you're like, what about me? I think I really want to speak into a lot of people to say that you are also very valuable when you start investing in yourself. And like,
your mantra.
and it's when you genuinely believe in yourself and you look at your gifts and as well as your faults. It's how God has made you complete in His image and how He breathes into you. So yeah, even though you are very, very, very special, so the rest of you also are very, very special with your own individual journeys that you've gone through. And like, I'm very proud of you guys for being here.
Please remember that all of you are special.
Titles are not everything.
You know that one TikTok sound?
Oh, yeah, one.
Oh, we have to answer Sonia's question, bro.
Back to the question.
Take a detour.
Malaysian driver.
You turn.
Sorry, Justin.
Okay,
Sorry.
Justin, yeah.
I would just say chaotic without the fun.
We're here for the chaos.
We're here for the chaos. We're here for the chaos. We're here for you.
Yeah.
We're ready for you.
One word to describe your life right now.
Right now.
Wow, so chaotic.
Right now.
Fulfilling.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Shimi?
I'd say mine's alive.
Very good.
Phoebe?
No one does that anymore.
Oh, Phoebe.
Wow, I didn't think.
Oh, you did think.
I didn't think.
Everyone needs it.
Okay.
Answer questions now.
Okay. Whoa. Navigating.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Always navigating.
compass.
With the sparkle.
Giving northward, south. Giving compass.
Cut this out. Cut this out.
Okay.
Included, so Gen Z.
One last one. We're going to rapid fire this. One word of what you hope to see in your generation.
Growth.
Oh wow.
Growth. Just growth.
Okay. One word we hope to see, and or one word we hope to see more, right?
Sure, yeah.
Can, right?
Okay.
Most basic Christian girl answer ever, but Jesus.
You go first.
Love.
You go first.
Go. I want my last one.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's say something really good. No, you go first. Yeah, same.
I just said mine. You're making me feel bad now.
The first word that comes to mind.
Repeat the question.
What do you want to see for your generation?
What do you want to see more? Or
See
what do you want to see or see?
Bubble tea.
Okay, we'll look at you. So no pressure.
Chicken rice.
Progress.
Wow, good one.
Gave you enough time to think.
Joy.
Mine sounds sad, bro.
It's okay.
Oh no.
Humility.
Have you no shame?
Like, yeah, very egotistical people nowadays.
Very true. Very
True.
I believe I also have ego in me.
We all
We all everyone has ego.
Egotistical is not good.
But it's knowing how to use that ego in the right way, I feel. Yeah.
Use your ego to empower other people.
correct.
But I feel like there's some egoistic people that are like, oh, but they're trying to pretend like they're the complete opposite, and they're like, they're like, oh, like I'm so bad, and it's like, can you shut up?
We'll take this away from you.
Sounds personal. Sounds personal.
Yeah. It's okay. We can talk about it after this.
You can replace those two words with God bless.
It's okay. It's a journey.
Pray for you.
You go.
Your feelings are valid.
Correct.
Pray for you tonight.
No, basically it was like bullied and they're like gonna punch you. You're like, God bless you.
I'm gonna pray for you tonight. I'm gonna pray for you every night.
Aggressive goodness.
And then you see Pastor Barnes coming in. Here is why we preach on love and violence is God.
Ayo. Well done, guys. Well done. Yeah, thank you so much. As we close, just want to. Oh, there's no altar call. Never mind. Sorry, it's a joke.
Like prayer.
Yeah, if you like prayer, please come to. Okay. As we close, just want to reiterate what Chinwei said. Very well put. Is that really at the end of the day, I think for myself also, I've come to learn that in the last 2 years. You know, like we if at the end of the day, if our purpose is not to be someone big, or pursue fame. Like, I mean, if it is, it's great, and we trust that God will bring us there. But if it's not, then maybe our purpose is simply just to obey, to obey where God calls us to love the people that He calls us to, and to be the Christian, the believer that He has called us to be, right, in whatever season that He's in, that we are in, I think it's okay if we always want to pursue that polished and put together life, and that polished image of us, right? We always want to put our best foot forward. But really, like, life is messy and life is grimy, life is life is life. Life is life. Church.
Not always slave.
Yeah, life is not always correct, It's not always giving.
Not always Kanchana.
It's not always Kanchana, yeah, but really, like, if it's one thing that I'm reminded of in the last few years, and even today as well with all of you, so is that the blessing that we have and the hope that we have is that even through the mess, even through the chaos, we have each other, You know, we have we have the body of Christ that the hope in Jesus, and I think that is enough for us to continue doing whatever you do, continue slaying.
I would just like to leave you all with this quote from this music album that I really love.
Okay.
To whatever comes next, there will be surprises. Because it's true. There'll be good and bad, but in the end, God will always surprise us.
Correct.
Proverbs 25 verse.
All right. So with that, we're gonna end this segment.
Let's go.
Thank you so much.
Do we have to introduce ourselves? We never introduced ourselves.
No need lah.
Okay. I was like, you went straight into the question. I was like,
I respect you. You stood so still.
We love
That is amazing.
Calvin and Fern. Well done, guys.
Clap for yourselves,
I
everyone.
can't do that. I'm not Gen Z enough to do this.
Like this now.
This one.
Gen Z.
First of all, what are you doing?
I can't. I don't have hand-eye coordination.
Just peek one side and like that.
It's just a really good tutorial.
Okay. That's
What is that?
This is a boomerang.
Side.
Oh,
Bend.
it's an actual tutorial.
Yeah. I created that myself, you know.
Wow, good job on the spot.
Yeah.
Good job.
we're the same generation.
No one else got it.
We are. Let's just leave it at that. Turn off the mics. Shut this down.
Compass.
Giving compass. Wait, I'm never gonna forget that. Hashtag giving compass.
Giving compass.
Get it.